Hey, hey, are you there?
What? What are you doing? You called me.
Let's do this, man. Come on.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to another episode of Between the Notes podcast as we close in on the holiday season. Brian thought it would be a good time to go to New York City.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's freezing. There's about a gajillion people on the
Oh, yeah.
streets.
Is it crowded in New York at Christmas time?
No,
Oh, my
not at
God.
all. Not at all. And not cold at all. Yeah, we were walking. So we went um, down to Macy's, and then we
Oh,
went to
yeah.
the Empire State Building, and then we walked up Fifth Avenue from 34th all the way to about 57th. So a good stretch.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
it was crazy crowded and it was crazy cold. And the girls were like, "Oh my God, I'm dying." It's like, "So am I, but I'm not complaining about it because that's what we do. We're in New York. We're having fun." Yes.
That's it's like, we're going to have fun whether you like it or not.
Exactly. Which is pretty much how the night ended, actually. But all in all, it was a great time.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Well,
Yeah. So it'd be fun to talk about being here, what it was like for us. Early in our friendship, we were both here together.
absolutely. I was just going to say it's changed so much in the
Oh,
last,
especially
what,
Lincoln
20.
Center.
Oh, yeah. The whole Lincoln Center area. I mean, I was there. Um, let's see, I moved to New York City in the summer of 2002.
Yeah.
And I started at the Juilliard School fall of '02. And then I lived there for, I guess 6 years before I moved back to Texas at the time.
Yeah.
But, in and around that time, I remember, I mean, I think the biggest thing that's changed is just like the haunts, it's like the restaurants
Sure.
that in my brain, if you go over to Columbus and start walking north, Peter's restaurant was right there, or like Harry's
Right.
Burritos, like all these little places.
Ollie's.
Ollie's right there on Broadway. It's like all
Right.
these places
Tower
that you get.
Records, Barnes and Noble.
No, Tower Records. Now, listen, for
Yeah.
anybody who's listening to this that doesn't know what Tower Records is, it used to be the mecca of recordings, right? Like you
Yeah.
go in there to buy CDs and whatever, but like upstairs, there was a classical room that literally had everything that you could possibly want and
Right.
find. It was just amazing. And they would do events where they'd have singers like Renee Fleming or whoever would come and do like a thing to promote their new album. And it was literally like the go-to place that you would go to find these CDs that you needed to listen to.
Yeah.
It's
And like
terrible.
$500 later, you were like, "Great, I'm set for 2 weeks of listening."
Right, right, right.
Now you can get it all on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube,
Exactly.
you name it. It's fine. I know we drive that point home a lot on this podcast, but that is the reality.
It's true. It's very true. And so what else? I mean, what do you remember about New York City from the time that you lived there that was something unique and different than what you had experienced living in New Orleans?
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, like, New Orleans is not that big of a city, so it's pretty suburban.
Right.
Um, but then I have to say that one of the biggest things is just, yeah, again, it's kind of in the same vein, is the subway and the walkability and having to bring with you in a bag everything you need for the whole day, right?
Yeah. I
And we
couldn't
didn't have
agree.
iPads. We had three scores or an anthology book or whatever, or your binder for your auditions and
All
like
of the above.
I mean, yeah, the bags were huge then, you know what I mean? I remember I had a couple of like a Hugo Boss, like a Cole Haan bag, just like, but it was massive, right?
Right.
And I think my back is still hurting from those days of lugging around 20. I should have just got a backpack like when I was in school,
Yeah.
with
I
old
think
school.
I think that's what I actually did was when I went to Juilliard and I had to realize because again, coming from Houston, where you just drive everywhere, you just throw
Yeah,
stuff in your back seat of your car and you're good to go. You don't
absolutely.
have to worry about it. But it is that sense of thinking where it's like, oh yeah, what am I going to do today? I've got to bring everything I need. And again, nowadays you've got your iPad, you've got your computer, whatever you need.
Oh
It's
yeah,
all in there. But like
exactly.
that is a big that is a significant change. We're showing all the all the Gen Z, whoever's listening to
Right.
this that's not born, let's say, before 1980.
Yeah.
We're giving them a little bit of a hint on what we had to go through,
Yeah.
but
You guys don't know how good you had it back in my day. You
uphill
know,
both ways in the snow, baby.
right. Speaking of which, it's one of those things like, when you ask me, one of my most vivid New York singer memories
Yeah.
is going to that Columbus post office with about 20 packets of headshots, resumes, applications, a check for $75,
Oh yeah.
and mailing each one of those things and leaving, you know, the post office $200 lighter because I just spent all this money. No uploading your videos. No,
Absolutely not. I mean, that was a whole other expense that we had to incur, was getting our headshots reproduced, because you would run out and then you'd have to get more. You'd have to take
sure.
the what was it? What were those things? No, I can't even remember. It was like, your headshot photographer, when they gave you all the things after you paid them, they gave you negatives, and with
Oh
the
yeah.
negatives you could order more prints,
Right.
and
Right.
and that was like a whole thing that you had to constantly think about doing.
Oh
And then,
yeah.
like you said, all the mailers, you had to get these giant envelopes that
Because
contained
if I
all these
remember
different
correctly,
ingredients.
they were CDs or tapes, cassette tapes. I think it was CDs by the time I was here because they were thin, right?
Yeah.
But like, if by some chance your CD got cracked in the mail, you're out.
Oh well.
Not
Yeah.
our
Exactly.
problem.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Things have changed a lot, but I mean, let's talk about the efficiency that has now been
Yeah.
created.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing, and I think ideally that's what New York City should be all about, right? Efficiency. Of course, there's traffic. Of course,
Sure. Sure.
the trains. There's a problem with the train, and so
There's
then it's
snow.
the
Like there's snow right now still on the ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, there is a magic in the air when you walk. Well, get off the train or get out of uh,
Yeah.
uh,
66. They're
the taxi cab.
right.
There's something magical about the energy, not only around Lincoln Center, but just New York City with
Yeah.
all that it possesses. But I will say that the biggest difference, I think, is that singers no longer really have to live in New York City to start their careers these days. I think with the number of opera companies who allow for virtual submissions, for at least for pre-screenings, if not virtual auditions for the whole thing.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
There are fewer and fewer and fewer companies traveling and making those expenses to come to New York City, to hear singers for 2 or 3 days, like the way that they used to. Now,
Right.
don't get me
Sure.
wrong,
Yeah.
there are still companies that come to New York to hear singers.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, especially the European companies, if they're going to come over here, this is where they're going to come.
exactly.
But yeah, no, I was working at Piano Piano, which is on 65th, right above the beloved, delicious Shen Li
Oh my
Chinese food,
gosh,
by the way.
so
Wow.
delicious.
If you haven't been there, save your pennies or your nickels or your $100 bills and go there because
Yeah,
it's so awesome. But anyway, the point being, Piano Piano is a wonderful studio over there. They were holding some auditions yesterday. I'm not sure exactly which companies were in there,
yeah.
but there
Well,
were a
that's the other thing that's changed, is the location of where these opera companies
oh
now
yeah,
hold auditions. I mean, it used
right.
to be
There was
Cami
no
Hall.
Opera America.
Yeah, I know, exactly, exactly. I mean, the best replacement for Opera America back in the day was Cami Hall,
Sure,
which was
yeah.
located right across the street from Carnegie Hall, and it was where Columbia Artist Management had their offices, and they had this very nice little recital hall kind of
Oh yeah.
situation, and so many companies would hear you there, or Riverside Church, or Da Capo over on
Right,
the Upper East Side.
right,
Um,
right.
but now it
Worst
seems
acoustic
like,
imaginable at Tecapa, worst acoustic imaginable.
and the
And then
smallest theater
Riverside is the
imaginable,
opposite. Riverside is like, you're in the
booming.
yeah, it's like, whoa, okay, here we go. My voice is massively huge.
I can only
Um,
imagine if you're like hearing singers. I mean, I mean, it probably just takes one time before you realize, oh, okay, this is what this acoustic is. But it's tricky if like, to your point, if you're hearing singers at Da Capo, which is like the driest. I think that theater held like 250 people or something. It was a
oh,
very
yeah,
small
yeah.
basement of a church over on the east side. Um, if you're hearing singers in that space, and then let's say the next day you're hearing singers at Riverside, either in the basement or in one of those, 10T or 9T or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It must be like you got to readjust everything and try to, but it's so weird to think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and then the other thing that New York still, I think, kind of has a monopoly on is the competition circuit for all those ones that are here.
Oh, sure.
Like the Gerda Listener and Giulio Gari and
Opera
Jared
Index.
London, Opera Index, like that. Those Metropolitan Opera, all those
Does
tried and true.
Oh yeah, does the Licia Albanese Puccini Foundation still exist? I'm not even sure if that's a competition that's still happening after her
Yeah,
passing. But
I have to admit, I have not seen any posts on social media about Licia Albanese competition.
yeah,
But Giulio Gari definitely, Opera Index
oh yeah,
definitely, all that stuff. Oh, and Leader
Liederkranz. Yeah, the Lieder.
Yes.
Talk about a bizarre building to go sing in. I
Oh my
remember
god.
you go down into the basement. It's like a holding area, and they'd have like a knight, like
Right.
a armor in full armor with
Suit
gear,
of armor, yeah.
and you're sitting there, and you're like, where am I right now? This is the most. It's such a great space.
Yeah,
Oh God,
totally.
those
But
are the
yeah,
days.
no. Go ahead, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
I was just saying those were the days.
Those were the days, they were. And today they're days and they're just different days. But
Sure, sure.
it's just super fun. I was walking last time I was here, and I've been coming here once a month to work with some singers. And I just was walking down Broadway towards Lincoln Center, and I ran into a guy I hadn't seen since we were in Salzburg, probably eight,
Oh
nine
wow.
years ago. And we're just on the street, but it's like, around those opera companies, around the opera houses, whether it's Covent Garden and E&O in London, because they're not that far apart, and or if you're in Vienna around the opera house or any of these places, it's like you just run into people that you know from all over the world because it's kind of a little hub,
Right.
and everybody's who's working there tries to get an apartment within walking distance from the theater, and so you run into people in restaurants, and it's super duper fun. Talking about New York in the '80s, we were walking down Fifth Avenue. We walked right in front of course, the old New York Library, where Ghostbusters, they catch their first ghost, and I was like, "This is so awesome!" Even the girls were like, "Oh, that's so awesome!"
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I miss it. I have to say, I'm a little jealous you're there right now. I wish I was up there
Oh,
with you.
I
We can hang
know.
out and
We'll do it again sometime soon. But I tell you, man, this place just gets more and more expensive.
oh, that well, it's always been
That's it.
expensive, but every year you're right. It's like I have to do
Yeah,
what? Oh my God.
yeah, 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 yeah. But anyway, so like, I don't know. What were some of your favorite? I know we hit Ollie's a lot. But Rosa Mexicano, I think we've had some mezcal and some
Uh,
pomegranate margaritas.
yeah, I'm sure. I don't know if they're under the same exact management, but it seems like they've had a couple of adjustments over the years, but it's still the same. In my opinion, if you're in New York City and you're looking for Mexican food, it's pretty
That's the way
dang
to
good.
go.
It's
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's pretty great. So,
Well, it's now in the Empire. Did I tell you that? It's now in the Empire Hotel. So it's on the second floor of the Empire Hotel. It's not on the corner anymore.
oh wow,
Yeah,
yeah,
they moved it.
that's different.
It's very different, but
Yeah.
Irene and the girls went there for dinner, and I went there for drinks last time I was there. And, still good, still,
Well,
great
I remember.
tableside guacamole.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. So that is no joke.
Yeah.
Um, I do remember Balducci's little
Blue cheese.
right. It was right there
Yes.
on 67th across from Juilliard. You just
Yeah.
walk out and it was right there. I think now there's a place there called Gourmet Garage or something like that.
Yes, 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 yes,
And it's
yes.
still the same idea. It's a really nice little. I don't want to call it a bodega, but it's you can get
Yeah.
whatever you want to get there. But they also
Let's
have
call it a deli. We'll call it
a
a deli.
deli. I was just going to say they have a phenomenal sandwich place. So
Oh, yeah.
so good. But yeah, like I said, Peter's was another place that I love going to on Columbus,
Yeah.
for a sit down
Was
restaurant.
Houlihan's there when you were here? Or was that
Well,
no?
Houlihan's is like the chain restaurant. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but they used to have one right over there.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
remember that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, back in the day. That was like
Har-
2000, so it'd been a couple of years before you were here, maybe. But
Harry's Burritos up again
Harry's
over on Columbus.
Burritos.
That was a cool place.
Well, PJ Clark's is what used to be the Iridium Jazz Club. So it used to be a
Right.
jazz club there, but PJ Clark's is there. And
PJ Clark's, by the
Fiorillo's.
way, that's also a
Yeah.
great place to go and
Oh
grab
my God.
their trio of burgers is one of the best things because you get all those three different kinds and it's not crazy expensive.
No,
Um,
it's totally affordable.
yeah. So that's a good place.
And the Smith,
Um,
that's relatively new compared to
oh
back
yeah.
out day.
Oh,
Fiorillo's has been a staple, but
there used to be right next to Fiorillo's. There used to be a place called Sushi A Go Go, and it had like a very '70s disco vibe. I used to love going in there.
oh, I love it. I love it.
Um,
I love it. But yeah, so you were at Juilliard all those years.
yeah,
Not all those years. It was really, would you say
2 years.
2 years
Oh,
that you were
oh
at
two
Juilliard?
oh
But
two to '04, and then we stayed living in that area for the next like 3 or 4 years. Yeah,
yeah, I remember I helped you guys move out in Jersey.
that's right. When
Uh,
we moved
we
down to Princeton, yeah,
got some pizzas, had like, 6 or 8 guys together. It was super
that's
fun.
right. Oh, that was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. That was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. So, how long are you're there for? 2 more days?
I'm leaving to we're all leaving tomorrow. So
Oh, you're
I
leaving
got
tomorrow. Okay.
oh, that's a good saga to talk about just for the people out there. I got to the Indianapolis airport at 9:30. My flight was at 12, then delayed to 12:30, then 1, then 1:30, then 2:30, then 3:30, then
Oh my
canceled.
god.
So
Oh no.
I'm sitting at like, the sports bar in the Indianapolis airport
Right.
having some
Waiting.
nachos. Yeah, it's just waiting because everything else like was slammed. So I actually went back out through security and just was like, well, if my flight gets canceled, I'm closer to my car. If it gets rebooked, it won't be for, another couple hours.
Right.
So it gets canceled, and then they rebooked me through Chicago. But then I had to stay the night, of course, on my own dime because it's not, that's not their
What was
whatever.
it? Weather related or something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who knows? They didn't even care. And I didn't even talk to anybody, right? Like I just was so not plussed at that point.
Right.
That was like
Right. Right.
whatever. But I mean, thankfully the I could use points for the room in Chicago and it was like $125. But then I had to go and then, take the shuttle to this thing. It's like 3 degrees in Chicago. The wind is whipping through, the place where we had to wait for the shuttle. I'm like, well, so then I went back inside and I would like try and like make sure every shuttle that passed, of which there were probably 15 different hotel shuttles
Oh my
per
gosh.
airport that passed. And finally mine came after about 25 minutes. I hop on there, we get to the place. Thank God the restaurant was open because on the email confirmation it was like restaurants closed Sunday and Monday. I was like, no. So anyway, so I go and I finally get there. I go to the restaurant, have some food, I go to sleep, and then I wake up at 5 o'clock. And I
There
get to
you
the airport first, like, a little bit before 6.
Wow.
Get on the flight, 7:15, lands 11 at 10:30. I'm at the Met by 11:40 to teach my first lesson. And then
Wow.
I taught 6 more lessons from 2 to 8.
Well,
So
let's say this for a second. When you're flying into New York City, there's 3 options, right? There's
right,
Newark, there's LaGuardia, and there's JFK.
yeah.
In my opinion, one of the easiest ways to get to, well, first of all, I would never fly to JFK. That is so far out and
Right.
it's so expensive. I mean, I guess technically there's a subway that goes there. I've never even done that. I
I
think
think
it's the
you have
C
like to take
train.
a train and then a subway and then whatever. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
crazy pups.
oh, Gracie pups.
Oh.
Um, so I think that the easiest way to get into New York City is to do Newark. You know,
Well,
if
yeah,
you
then you take the yeah,
you just take the any one of the New Jersey Transit trains from the
right.
airport into Penn Station, and then you're there.
Yeah,
It's probably the cheapest way to do it too, because if you fly into LaGuardia, there is a bus, but that bus is a little bit time consuming, and it only takes you up to what 125th Street, I think, is where it drops you off.
yeah.
So depending on where you're staying, I mean that could be an option too. And of
I mean,
course,
my cab was $83.
this is my point, right?
So
It's like
that's the right.
when you fly into LaGuardia and take a cab into Midtown, you're going to spend $80, and
Yeah.
and then if that's what you're planning on doing to get back to the airport too, all of a sudden you're considerably out of pocket,
Yeah, a
100,
$300 ticket just went up to like almost
500.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So think about those things, because I do think, especially if a younger singer is looking to save some money, if you fly into Newark, and that's a United hub, so anybody coming from another United hub, or
Yeah.
if you're able to get into Newark, then you just get that train from the airport, and it's so easy. It might be a little nerve wracking the first time you do it, but once you do it, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, $15 to get
Yeah.
into Penn
Oh, yeah.
Station, which is at 34th, and 8th. So
Mhm.
once you're there, then it's so easy to take a subway wherever you need to go.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And the girls have been on the subway before, but this is the first time that they could actually remember it, and they were like, "Oh my god, it's so cool!" Like,
oh
wow, it's
yeah,
just like you see in the movies, and it's like, "Yep, It's just like you see in the movies.
How fun. How
A
fun.
little smellier, perhaps, but what are you gonna do?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, so how many lessons you teaching today?
I got well, I had one cancellation. So I'm teaching at least 5. But I
Oh,
put out a
good.
little post trying to pick up another one, that cancellation from 5 to 6. But yeah, I'll go 2 to 8 today again.
Full
Uh,
day?
yeah, that's fine. It's fine. That's what we're here for.
Well, let's say this. I hope that you and the girls have a wonderful Christmas trip in New York City and
Thank
safe
you.
safe travels getting back. I guess you're going back to Indianapolis while they go back to New Orleans, right?
Correct. So yeah, so I fly back to Indianapolis tomorrow. I get there, drive to Bloomington, spend the night, and then Friday afternoon doing some work with you, and then I'm going to get on the road and go to Bowling Green, Kentucky, to see my buddy Zach and his wife, and then Saturday get up and drive the rest of the 9 hours to New Orleans, and that's what I do twice a semester.
Well, I certainly hope that the weather gods will make everything very smooth and easy for you.
Oh man,
And I wish the outskirts of Kansas City were on your way, but we'll have
I
to
know.
we'll make.
January, we've got it on the calendar. January, we're doing it.
That's right. That's right.
All right, everybody, have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll get back to you soon. But thanks for watching as always, and peace from the Big Apple.
There you go.
Love to Kansas City, and we'll see you guys soon. Okay,
All right. Bye.
bye.
Thanks for joining us on Between the Notes. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And join us next week for more behind the scenes stories, laughs, and operatic gold coming your way.